everyone, welcome back. My name is Morgan. This is my channel, Pisces Paperbacks, and this is the start of another reading vlog, weekend reading vlog. So I'm in my car right now at the DMV getting it inspected because you can't get your car inspected until after it's registered. And even though I bought it in November, I didn't manage to get it registered until Thursday. And now I have to get it inspected, and it hasn't been inspected since 2015, so it really needs it. And so I haven't been able to drive my car since I got a ticket for driving it in February because I was driving an unregistered vehicle. And so I was like, you know what, now that I've, been caught, maybe I'm just gonna let the car sit in my driveway. And I tried to start it this morning and it wouldn't start, so I had to get it jumped. It was very stressful, but I'm here now, it's running, she's beautiful, and I have my wait time ticket. It's kind of a long line, but it's not too bad. But let me tell you a little bit about the books that I'm reading this weekend. Right now I'm in the middle of two books. I'm in the middle of The Lost Apothecary by Sarah Penner, which is a historical, a dual timeline historical fiction about an apothecary in the 1790s who creates basically poisons for women who want to kill the men in their lives, like the horrible men in their lives. And then also in modern times, there's a woman named, the apothecary's name is Milla. And then in the modern times, there's a woman named Caroline who is on vacation in London by herself after kind of being betrayed by her husband. And so it's kind of those two timelines going back and forth. I'm 30% in. I'm enjoying it so far, but it is pretty slow because I don't think the plot has started yet. And again, we're 30% in. So, I don't know about it so far, but it's nicely written. I'm really enjoying the historical aspects of it, and I like the modern timeline as well, so nothing too bad. And then I'm also reading A Heart of Blood and Ashes, which is the first book in the Gathering of Dragons series by Milla Vane. It's a romance fantasy series, and this one follows Matic, and he's kind of the barbarian king, and he wasn't king, and then his parents are killed prior to the events of the book, and he's unable to get revenge due to this treaty, this alliance that all of the kingdoms have recently created. And so instead, the daughter of the king who killed his parents offers to marry him for both of their own gain, because she also hates her dad, and somehow marrying him will they'll both be able to get revenge on him. Anyway, it's very violent. The first time they meet, Matic licks blood off of her hand as in a show of dominance. So it's very dramatic in that way. And I will say I don't understand a single word of the politics. And they haven't had sex yet, but it's definitely a hate to love situation. I'm liking it. I think I'm 115 pages in, something around there. I'm reading it really slow. I don't know why, but I am liking it. I also have the ebook for The Death of Vivek OG by Akwaeke Emezi, which is, I don't really even know what that's about. I think it's literally about the life and death of a character named Vivek OG, but I don't really know anything else about it except for that I've heard it's literally wonderful. And so this will be my first adult novel by that author. I've only read their middle grade, or no, their YA book. I'm sorry, I'm moving up in the line, so I'm looking around my camera. But yeah, so I have that. And then I have Phoenix Extravagant by Yoon Ha Lee, but I'm going to try and read that in my Asian Readathon vlog, where I'm just going to vlog specifically all the books that I read for the Asian Readathon. So even if I read it this weekend, I'm not going to show you that video. So yeah, I will update you guys in a bit. I've been driving around for an hour, and I'm just in a really good mood because the car is going to get inspected today, and then I'm starting a dog walking gig, and then I have work late tonight, but I like the late shift, so I'm just feeling good, feeling happy, and I'm hoping to keep this energy for the rest of the weekend. I also like the dichotomy of me in my 19-year-old car getting inspected, and then I don't know if you can see, but that sports car, nice ass racing car, everybody is equal at the DMV.
haven't done a very good job updating you, but I'm sneaking a second while I'm in the office at work getting more tags to put out. Basically, I was planning to finish The Lost Apothecary while I was at work today, but I'm literally like an hour and a half worth of listening from the end because I was listening to it in double time, and I got to a part that made me so anxious I just paused it and like went to do something else. Like I couldn't handle it anymore. So hopefully I'll finish it tomorrow or later tonight. But why can't books just, like, I know there needs to be tension for plot to happen, but why can't books just like not stress me out? You know what I mean? Okay, so I did a terrible job explaining that, but in my like whispered stolen moments at work. But basically I had plenty of time to finish The Lost Apothecary at work, and I had every intention to, and I had every like interest. It wasn't like I was bored. I was having a good time and enjoying the story. But this happens to me with movies, it happens to me with TV shows, it happens to me with TV shows a lot. But basically I will get to a scene that I find uncomfortable or embarrassing because I have a really intense reaction to secondhand embarrassment and like that style of stress. Like I cannot watch The Office, right? Or things like that. Or if there's some sort of miscommunication with the authorities where something is really uncomfortable, like it makes me extremely stressed. Like I get like physically a reaction to it. And in TV shows especially, I will literally like pause a TV show, close the window, be like, oh, I'll get back to it if it's like a scene that's stressing me out, and then I will like never watch it again. That's what happened to me with what's the Marvel one, Jessica Jones, and also Buffy the Vampire Slayer, and also like a whole bunch of other TV shows. Like I want to watch them, but I get uncomfortable and I stop. And I literally have like an hour and a half left of this, maybe 2 hours left of this audiobook, and something happened and I was like, oh, I'm uncomfortable, I'm gonna pause it, I'm just gonna do something else and I'll get back to it eventually. But like who knows if I will, because honestly the idea of like listening to it is stressing me out so much. I've been listening to it on 2 times speed. I might like pump that up to like 2.5 times speed to see if I can get through it faster. I know like it's basically like skipping a paragraph of a book, but sometimes when I'm really uncomfortable, I would literally like skip ahead the 15 seconds like that they have on, there's like a 15-second Libby skip ahead button, and I might just hit that until I feel like it's past the worst parts, which is terrible because it's not how like you read books, but sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do, you know? So, alright, it is midnight now. I'm gonna go home. And tomorrow I'm finishing The Lost Apothecary for sure, and I didn't read any of Heart of Blood and Ashes today, but I want to get to the halfway point tomorrow. That's what I'm gonna do, and that's how it's gonna be. So, yeah. Good morning, it's Sunday now, and last night at like 12:35, I realized that my hold from the library for The Lost Apothecary was up at like 7:30 a.m., and then it goes back automatically. So unless I was going to wake up before 7:30 a.m. to finish listening to it, I needed to finish it last night. So I did. I cranked the speed up to 2.6, and I listened to that last like 2.5 hours in 45 minutes. And it was okay. Yeah. Honestly, I didn't expect to give it 5 stars because, I don't know, I've kind of been iffy on historical fiction for the last, I don't know, while. But I did hope to really like it. So, I mean, it was fine. I think one of the reasons that I maybe didn't connect for me as much, and this is like not on the book at all, it's on me as a person, is that one of the like major themes and one of the commonalities between the 2 main characters in both the past timeline and the current timeline is this really strong desire for motherhood, and I don't have that. I've never had that. I've never really like wanted to be pregnant or have a baby or any of that. It's not something that I can relate to, and I don't usually need to relate to the characters in some way. Like it's not, I don't think it's a super important thing for me, but it did feel like it was repetitive for me because of that, because it kept getting brought up. Instead of it being like so deep and emotional for me, I was like, okay, we get it. You don't have any kids and you really want kids, and you're 30 and you want kids. Like, I get it. Maybe that wasn't it for me, But yeah, I don't know how I feel about it. So today the priorities are A Heart of Blood and Ashes. I'm 113 pages in. Oh, let me see. 113 pages in, and I'd like to get to the 300 page mark today. That is this far in. That's about here, so I have that much more to go today. And then also I want to start The Death of Vivek OG by Akwaeke Emezi because my hold for that ends in 2 days, and I haven't started it at all. So those are the two things I'm going to be reading today, and it's going to be a good time. Yay! Yet again, I am updating you in the middle of the night instead of midday when I planned to, but I kind of fell asleep before work and I almost slept through the time I had to leave, so this is what you're getting. It's midnight, and earlier today I read to page 304 of Heart of Blood and Ashes, and I am enjoying it. They are still they still haven't had done the deed or anything like that, and it's very they both want to have a relationship with emotions and care and love in it, but because of some reasons, they're both convinced that the other person is not the person who's going to be able to do that for them. And then also Vivek is convinced that Vane is a treacherous person and that he's not allowed to let himself care for her, but the thing that would absolve her of that is something that he's forbidden her from saying. So I don't know, it's a little stressful, but it's fun. Again, okay, here's another thing. It's a fantasy thing, and it has to do a lot with the alliances between different nations in this fantasy world, and there's no map. And they're describing geography and where things are in association with each other. I don't know. If it's they're trying to say, well, this is where this is, and then south of that is this, and then to the east, and I don't know. If there's not a map for me to look at, your geography is just a blob in my brain, and I don't know what's happening, and I don't care, and that's fine. It's okay. Normalize not caring about world building. I know that's not what I actually mean, but you know what I mean. And then I also started The Death of Vivek OG by Akwaeke Emezi. It starts with the death of Vivek OG and then kind of flashes back to his parents and his childhood, and that's where I am right now. I'm only 15% in, and it's well written. I didn't expect any less because I liked this author's other book that I read, but I'm not loving it, and I would have read more, but I got to a scene where I got uncomfortable, so I turned my Kindle off and I started watching YouTube because that's what I do. I don't read through the stress, I avoid, but I need to at least read most of it tomorrow because my hold from the library is up on the 5th, and this is a book that has a 6-month wait time. Since it came out, it's had a 6-month wait time, and I've already had to I've already gotten the ebook hold and not read it, and had to wait another 4 months, so I'm trying to actually read it this time. I'm living my best. I'm honestly having a great weekend. Having a great weekend. Good morning. It is Monday, and I am about to take Marcy on a walk. Here's my plan for the day. So I already read 40 pages of Vivek OG. I'm on page 30. My goal for that book is to get to page 150 today, so it's another 80 pages, and I think I can do that kind of broken up throughout the day because it's not a slow read. It's just I know it's building up to something and it stresses me out a little bit. And then I'm on page 304 of not A Gathering of Dragons, that's the series name. I'm on page 304 of A Heart of Blood and Ashes, and I'd like to get to page 400 today, so it's 100 pages. So altogether, that's kind of a lot of reading to do in one day for me, but I don't have work today. I don't have ShopRite work today, so I think I can do it. I don't know if I've mentioned this, but I have a new dog walking
gig. So today I'm gonna be going over to the person's house twice to walk the dog. First at 10 and then at 2:30. But before that I want to take my own dog on a walk, so I'm gonna do that now. It's like 8:30 in the morning. And I am gonna have a good time. I'm gonna do lots of walking. I'm gonna listen to like a podcast, maybe an audiobook. I haven't decided. I don't have any audiobooks out right now, so if I do decide to listen to one, I'll have to like take one out from the library, and it might be one that I'm reading for another video, so like I don't actually want to tell you about it. So that's the plan. And then I am also going to go to the library to drop off 2 of the books that I read last month because I don't need them anymore and I need to give them back by the 7th. So if I have time today, I'm gonna do it. And that's the plan. I hope you enjoy. It's really nice out today. Like, it's gonna rain later, but it's not too hot, which is like what I'm appreciating. So that's that, and I will see you guys in a bit. Marcy and I are here on our walk. We're actually in the second half on our way home, but I just remembered a story from last night at work that I wanted to tell you. Basically, I was at work and I saw a girl that I went to high school with and I did not want to talk to. So I kind of like not hid behind a cooler, but I walked away a little bit and I was telling another cashier about it. And I was like, well, I graduated high school in 2015. And without missing a beat, she looks at me and goes, so how old are you, like 27? And that hurt so bad. No, I turned 24 like 2 months ago. I don't know how you think time and years work, but I'm not 27. Oh my God. What the fuck? It's me from a couple hours later. Not even a couple hours. Oh yeah, I guess a couple hours. Anyway, the walk with the dog went really well. It was only like a mile long, like half an hour, because the dog stops and stuff. But it was good. It's supposed to rain later today, so I brought an umbrella with me. And I'm definitely going to bring an umbrella with me for the second walk that I go on with the dog, but it was good. And then I went to the library to drop off the books. And did I not say in another video that I'm incapable of going to the library without getting more stuff? Because that's what I did. I know I said I wasn't gonna buy any more books, but they started selling secondhand books at the library again. So I wanted some because that is like my main supply of romance. So, oh my gosh, I crushed it a little bit. I have 2 that I bought and 2 that I, have out from the library now. So the first one that I bought was Sizzle and Burn by Jane Ann Krentz. This is gonna be my very first Jane Ann hardcover from this author, which is really exciting. I don't think I've actually read this one before, which is surprising because I've read like 30 books by this author. It's a paranormal contemporary romance and like a romantic suspense. She always writes books that have some sort of mystery or murder or like somebody's been captured or something like that. And I love them, even though like a lot of them are like mediocre at best, but I enjoy them so much, so whatever. And so this was $2, which is like good for a hardcover, even though it's not going to fit on my romance shelf, so I don't know what I'm going to do with that. And then I also got At the Duke's Pleasure by Tracy Ann Warren. I've never read a book by this author before, but look at how beautiful that cover is, and look at how beautiful the step back is. I couldn't resist. It looks painted. Like, I know it's a picture with a filter on top, but it looks like a beautiful painting. I'm obsessed. This was 50 cents, but actually I only had $2. I had a 20, but she was like, do you have anything smaller? And I was like, I have 2 ones. And she was like, just take them both. So that was really, really nice of her. This is a historical romance, obviously, and I love romance. And then I have 2 more books, and I'm reading them for like, I feel like I keep saying like, I'm reading these books for something I can't tell you about yet, and I feel like such a bitch, but this is like the first time I've had any like secret TBR video ideas that I could then execute, but also I have several of them happening that like there's no deadlines. Like, nobody's telling me when I have to put these videos out, but there are like certain days at the end of this month and the beginning of next month that I want these videos to be out on, which means I need to read all of them this month. So it's like basically everything I'm gonna read this month is for like a secret TBR, which is like stupid, but I can show you one of the books because I was gonna read it anyway. Like, I would have read this book anyway, so it doesn't matter. And that is Take a Hint, Danny Brown by Talia Hibbert, second book in the Brown Sisters series. I loved the first one. I read it last month. I talked about it in my wrap up. I gave it like 4.5 stars. So I've heard this one's even better. I don't know how that could possibly be, but yeah, I'm really, really excited. So that's, and I got another book that is right here, but I just love books. So I'm gonna go home and I'm gonna read more of Heart of Blood and Ashes and hang out and have a good time. And I'll talk to you later. Bye. Hey gang, it is somewhere around 10 o'clock at night. I have had a really relaxing evening. I took a nap kind of in the 4 to 6 range, so I didn't read like that much this evening, but I just got to 54% of The Death of Vivek OG, and I'm finally really getting invested. Like, it was a quick read, it was interesting before, but I feel like with literary fiction, it often takes me like longer to like really get it turning into like a page turner. So another one, completely different story, but another book that I had a similar experience with is Where the Crawdads Sing by Delia Owens. That is a book that by the end I was so invested. I was like reading so quickly and like really emotionally connected to the characters, but for most of that book I was like pretty bored, but I ended up giving it 5 stars, even though I'd probably at this point bump it down to a 4. So I feel like this book is also going to have like kind of that slow burn feeling for me, so I'm really enjoying that. And then I also, this morning, I read 50 something pages of A Heart of Blood and Ashes, so I'm like actually getting pretty far in. I'm planning on reading another 50 pages tonight and getting to 400, but I'm not going to update you after that because this is actually going to be the last clip in the video. I'm sorry I only finished one book this weekend. I finished The Lost Apothecary by Sarah Penner, and I talked a bit about that yesterday, I believe, so I'm not like going to go over it again. But hopefully next time I do like a vlog like this, I will actually finish more books. The next time you do see a vlog from me, it will be one where I like definitely finish books because they're more like project based than like a timeline based. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. It's a little dark in this clip, but I don't feel like getting my tripod up and everything. So this is just what it's going to be. Let me know in the comments if you've read any of these books and what you thought, and I will see you guys next time. Bye!